Good day and welcome to Draftworx Cloud video overview. Let's log in and get started. So as soon as we jump into Cloud, we'll notice a few things. Okay. First of all, I don't have any clients because I haven't created anything. This is the first time I'm using Draftworx Cloud. The second, I'll have 300 Rand worth of credits if you're in South Africa to start your first few sets of engagements on us. And then we get this add client menu. So this is where we're going to be creating our first engagement. So Draftworx Cloud is unique. Why is it unique? Well, you'll notice when you signed up, it didn't ask you for your credit card, it didn't ask for any details around billing, because Draftworx Cloud is a per engagement billing system. So what does that mean? Well, simply you only pay for what you use, and you only pay when you use it. So for Draftworx Cloud, we're only going to pay when we do an engagement. So we're only going to pay when we do a set of financial statements or when we do some working papers. Okay. So with that, let's get started and add our first client. Let's call this Draftworx International Ltd. Select the country that you're doing your engagement for. Then, very importantly, the framework. So dependent on the country, you'll have a set of frameworks, and those frameworks basically identify the entity type and the standards that you're applying to that entity type. Okay, so for example, in South Africa, we have something called closed corporation. It's based on IFRS SME. We then have IFRS itself, so full IFRS for a listed or governmental organization. IFRS SME for your general company, PTY Ltd. And then we have a few other sort of templates for monthly management pack, NPC, NPO, partnership, school, sole prop, trust, consolidations, and some of our older legacy templates. The templates we still support, but they're our older technology. Okay, so let's create my first one. So I need to select which framework we're doing. Well, I'm doing a PTY, so let's do IFRS SME. And then we have methodology. So for South Africa and the rest of the world, whenever you're doing a compilation or a review or an audit, that's going to tie into the report that's going into your financial statements. So apply your PI score, and your PI score is going to say that we need to do a compilation, or we need to do a review, or we need to do an audit. And that is where you have to choose the working papers for the work you need to do to support that report of the compiler or the independent reviewer or the auditor or the accounting officer that you are putting in your financial statements. So we're going to do compilation. Compilation is probably the most widely used in South Africa. And we now see that we have our framework and our methodology, our working papers available. Okay, we go down, we select the financial year end, which happens to be 2021. Change the year end date if applicable. We default to February. For South Africa, it's the most used period. Well, it's 12 months, annual financial statements, and then industry is optional. We would like you to please choose it so we can start benchmarking at a later stage. But here we see our client price. It's going to cost me 300 Rand to do an IFRS SME and a compilation. If I was, say, doing just a sole prop, of course, there's going to be different fees because of different complexity. A sole prop is just going to cost me $50. I don't need a methodology for a sole proprietor. But of course, let's go and let's do the full shebang, which is going to be the framework and the methodology. And there's my credit balance. At any point in time, if you need to top up, you can click on your company name, and you can pay either via credit card or pay via voucher. And that you can actually just request an invoice from us. We'll invoice you, pay via EFT, and then we'll send you your voucher code where you can top up. Okay, so very much like pay as you go. So let's add my first client, and it's going to create as quickly and easily as that. And now we have to go through the process of setting up my first entity. Okay, now this is going to be the general steps that you're going to apply for each engagement. It's going to be some differences depending on the engagement, depending on what accounting system you're importing from, whether it's something like Xero or Sage 1 or QBO, or if you're importing from Excel. Okay, but these are the general guidelines for these steps that we need to go through. So we see we've got step 1 through 5. So these are little shortcuts. They can also be accessed in the menu above. So we like to really kind of work from left to right in Draftworx, or 1 through to 5. My first step is going to be client setup and that's where I'm going to put in all the information about the company that I'm preparing the financial statements for. Okay, and it's just a once-off. Because we're being charged for this entity for this year, there's going to be no further charges, but when I come to do the 2022, there'll be an additional charge. However, all the information that I'm putting in here is going to roll forward into my 2022. So the first year is going to be a bit of setup. Second year is going to be much, much, much quicker. So let's at some of the options that we have to do. Well, very quickly, company name. If you haven't put in the proper full company name, this is where you need to pop it in, because this is what's going through to my financial statements, okay, on the face. Trading as, if something's not applicable, for example, I don't have a trading as for this company, what do? I just leave it empty, leave it blank. It's not going to go through to my financial statements. And if I don't know if it is or isn't, leave it out. I can always come back later and I can fill in the information and it'll update my financials. Okay, let's go through contact information, business address, go and fill out the business address. Office Park 16. Okay. Woodlands Drive. Would need cutting. One line. Okay. And we can just do some quick copies if it's the same addresses for all the others. Okay. Registration number, super important. This will pop in the company registration number depending on the format. And then place of signature is going to be Santon. And then we've got a lot of other options like the company tax number, the VAT number, the PAYE. Depending where you did your articles or your training, you'll either want to put this on your financial statements or not. Okay, where I did my articles, we didn't put this on financial statements. So to this day, I don't put it on. It's actually very useful. And a lot of guys have put it on. Okay, so up to you. Put it in. It will go to the financial statements. Leave it out. It won't go to your financial statements. Okay, simple as that. Okay, Standard Bank. Okay, well, the Standard Bank of Southern Africa, but we're doing a video and we're making it quick. Okay. Now we come down to my secretarial information and directors. I'm going to pop my name in there, and we can go and we can fill out all of these goodies, and it will take it automatically to the financial statements if relevant. Okay. Shareholders. Now, at this point in time, it's important to know that if I am doing another type of entity, like a closed corporation, well, it's not going to say directors, shareholders, it's going to say members. Or if I was doing a partnership, it would say proprietors. Or if I was doing a trust, it would be trustees, beneficiaries. So this is going to adapt to the type of entity you're doing. Okay. And very quick and easy. Let's scroll down, see if there's any other options. Am I doing management accounts? No, I'm not. I'm going to leave that off. Am I rounding? I'm really rounding decimals. We're not doing a very big company. We don't have to round to thousands, etc. So happy with that. I am doing IFRS SME, or maybe I'm doing basis of accounting. Depends on the engagement. But generally standard is the stuff that most of the guys use. Okay, so if you're not sure, just leave it. And you can always come back to it later. Number of years to present. So how many financial years are we doing? Well, in this case, the company's been going for a while, so I'll do current and prior. Or if it's the first year of trade, I'll do 1 year. Or perhaps there's a prior period error, and we now need to do 3 years. And of course, it goes up to 5 years, like a little type of management style. Okay, let's pop it down, and let's say that we're doing a brand new entity for the first year. Here's my year-end dates, automatically defaulted to your country-specific year-end dates. Again, South Africa is generally Feb, but also could be June, August, December, etc. Just depends on how it was founded. Okay. Regional settings. We've selected that we're doing for South Africa, so it's bringing in all the defaults. Okay. And then we get onto a few of the other advanced items. So these are everything that's pre-populated for the template. I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to stop at my number of years to present. We can always get a little bit more advanced a little bit later, because there's options to choose what type of cash flow you want, indirect or direct, or your accounting policy, separate or combined, or functional nature of your income statement. Okay, so there's some other cool features we can get into at a later stage. Now, once that's done, let's jump to my next step, which is going to be my financial data, my working trial balance, okay? Or we can go to my startup and you can see that my next step is to capture my trial balance, which is going to be in my working trial balance in any case, okay? And this is the most complex part of Draftworx. Now, it's not really complex because when you know how to use it, it's super easy, but this is where you need to get it right. Okay, if you get this part right, your financial statements are going to be spot on. Okay, now this is where we need to import our trial balance, and we need to import it from an accounting system, whether it's, again, Xero, Sage 1, QBO, or whether it's Excel. So what happens if my client sends me a TB? In Excel, I can simply import it, and I can do something called linking, okay, which is going to be the next step. After we've captured my TB, imported it, it's going to be linking, okay? So what is linking? Well, the TBI import needs to be told where it needs to go in my financial statements. So we want to automate your entire financial statements. So if we bring in a trial balance, even if it's direct from an accounting system and we just use the categories there, they've got the high level categories saying it's a non-current asset, it's a current asset, non-current liability, liability. We want to do the fine grain allocations. So we build up your detailed income statement automatically, your notes automatically, your balance sheet, income statement, your cash flow, all of that gets built up from this linking process. Okay. Now we've made it easy in Draftworx Cloud. We have something called Sync, which is a sister entity where we can import our TB from. We can quickly go, authorize, and there's a separate video. The next video takes you through Sync and how to do the quick integrations. And I can simply go and import my TB from Sync. And now Sync has already gone and it's already tapped into all the other accounting systems that it supports, and it allows me to choose an import from that company that's on Sync. Okay, so think of it as just as a middleware where it goes and it facilitates Draftworx to import from all the accounting systems. Okay, not just that, it's going to allow me to export back a little bit later. So if I do journal entries in Draftworx and it's connected to Sync, all great, I can push those journals back. Okay, I don't need to go and capture it manually. Makes life much easier. Okay, so Sync is connected. I want to also automatically link my accounts on import. So this is us doing some of the heavy lifting for you. We're importing now from a Sage 1 entity. It's gone, it's imported my TB, and it's done the allocations for me. So it goes and it looks at the standard accounting TB that's available in the accounting system, and we've got a predefined set of links because we know what the accounting system looks like. We know where everything should go. So if it's still standard, we've done all the heavy lifting for you. Okay, I want to quickly go and clear out the empty accounts. Don't have to work with all these zeros, so let's remove and let's clear out, and there's my TB. Okay, so my TB is in. My TB is all linked. In another video, we're going to show you how to link these manually, okay? But what happens if I have made some changes in the TB, in the accounting system, I've imported it, and I see that one or two links are incorrect, i.e. they're actually not supposed to be going to the place they're going? Well, I can simply just go and change it, okay? So if I want to change something, I can simply go and I can click on any of these little link buttons, and I can change the categorization of it. Okay, so super simple, super easy. I can click and I can take, say, other sales to let's call it other expenses, and I can even go and change the description that's going into my financial statements with the other accounts. And let's call this I'm going to call it coffee. Okay, accountant's favorite beverage. Well, during office hours at least, coffee. Let's select coffee, and we're putting this as an account going to coffee. Okay, so you can change the allocations and you can send things different places. The accountant might not have gotten all the allocations right, especially if they created a new account in the accounting system. So you, as the accountant, you apply your professional opinion and you can go and you can change the allocations of where it needs to go, whether it needs to be a non-current asset, a current asset, asset held for disposal, a reserve, an expense, an income. Go and tell it where everything needs to go. Draftworx is going to go from this TB importing, the linking, and we're going to build your financial statements, which is the next step. Okay, we've linked my account is to view my financial statements. Okay, so what have we done? We've created an entity. We've put some settings in my client setup. We can always come back later, change it. We've gone and we've imported directly from Sync. Going to have a later video on that, just to go into detail how that works. And we import the TV from the accounting system that's linked to Sync, all free of charge. Accounting TV has come in. We've done all the allocations for you. We allow you to go and change any of the allocations if you need to put it somewhere else. You know, even for example, like a loan. A loan could have been current on the accounting system, but you know it needs to go to non-current, and you can do that, change that linking change to take it to another place in your financial statements. And when you do that linking change, we're going to correct the note, going to correct the cash flow, going to correct the balance sheet, and of course if it's something that is affecting the income statement, we're going to do that as well. And then of course the detailed income statement. So this system does all of the changes for you. So TV's in, linked. Let's jump into my financial statements. So Draftworx goes now and we build your financial statements for you based on everything that you have in your links. Okay, and there we go. Built. What it's done is built my balance sheet, my income statement, my cash flow, my detailed IS, my notes. It's gone and opened up all my notes automatically. I just have to run through my financial statements now and go and determine what items are applicable or not applicable. So it's just the last little step, last little level. Now we're at 17 minutes already. If I wasn't talking so much and you've learned the system, you should be here at about 3-4 minutes. Okay, so you should have almost a draft set of financial statements at the 4 minutes range if everything's connected to Sync. So it's super fast. Okay, so let's have a look. So some little items, some little stuff that's hidden, I'm going to open them up. There's a checklist. So depending on which country and which framework you're using, we'll always have a checklist in for you. And this will tell you exactly what you should be doing. For example, if you have government grants, we list what is required under IFRS SME and hyperlink to it. And of course, the Companies Act as well. Okay, that's in all the financials. So great guidance there if you just need to double check on something, or if you have a trainee that's new and just need them to double check on what to do. Okay. Status tells me what's right or wrong. It's a high level overview. It tells me everything that's right or wrong in my financials. Okay. Retained income is in balance, and this is the biggie. Happy that that's working. Why? Because if that isn't working, I'll have to go back to my TB, my accounting system, and check what went wrong. Okay, Draftworx is simply just reporting that something in your accounting system is wrong. You may have a trial balance that balances, but your retained income is out, which means your financial position will be out. It's not a Draftworx issue. Draftworx is just reporting on it being a trial balance issue, and you have to go back to your TB and you'll have to do an opening balance test and find out what went wrong. Okay. But what you typically encounter when you open up a set of financial statements is that your PP&E recon is going to be out, my property, plant and equipment recon. And this is where you have to go and you have to reconcile it. Why? Because the standard tells us that we need to go and we need to allocate all the movement that has occurred in my PP&E, my investment property, my intangibles, biological and other assets for the year. Okay, even for example our provisions, so like employee benefit provision, according to the standards we have to go and we have to disclose all the movement. So this is telling me that, hold on, there's been movement in here, we have to reconcile and tell it what it is. Okay, and of course if that's impacted, then we know that my cash flow is going to be impacted because it doesn't know where it needs to take it in the cash flow. Okay, so when we go into my PP&E recon and we say, okay, this is all additions, then it'll take that amount to my cash flow as additions and it's going to clear my cash flow out. Okay, my tax recon could also be out because maybe we have a profit but we haven't passed the journal to raise tax. So these are the high level items that we need to look out for. Okay, jump over to cover. Everything that I put in my client setup is coming through. Draftworx International Pty Ltd, registration number, trading as isn't. Why is that? Okay. And why is it in blue? Well, we didn't put a value in my client setup, so that's why it hasn't come out. But we highlighted in blue to go and say, hey, maybe you've forgotten to put this value in. If you have, go back to client setup, pop it in, come back, refresh. If it's on purpose, then you go, fantastic. Nothing should be in there. It's not going to print. The blue highlighting is telling me it's not going to print. Fantastic. Let's move on. Index automatic, management info automatic, director's responsibility automatic, director's report, all the disclosures and items we give you. Okay, so we give you a nice little template and you can select and choose. Again, nothing in blue is going to print preview. But if there is something, for example, that you would like to disclose, like you would like to do some disclosure around liquidity and solvency, click the plus, switches the note open. See, it goes and auto numbers it. And we can go and we can do my disclosure here. Okay. If I want to switch that off, click the minus, gone off, renumbers. It's as easy as that. Don't want to disclose shareholding? Click the minus, shareholder gone. Easy as that. Okay. Maybe there is some shares that were issued during the year. This is currently in blue. I'll go, hold on. I want to go and show that row. Click on show. Go and edit whatever you want to say. Okay, so very easy. Zeros hide, one show. It's as quick and easy as that. You can use these, or you can go and type it in even. Okay, and it will take it out of print. Now that's only in certain areas. We protect the important bits, so don't worry if you're a partner looking at this and going, what is my trainee going to do? Don't stress. If I go over to my SOFP here and banging on my keyboard, and I'm trying to change a value, it's not going to change. Same with here. It's not going to change. It's not something that you can change without having permissions, okay, which is assigned to you when you start Draftworx. So directors, audit report, review report, compilation, accounting officer, all the reports. If something is not applicable, just go in, switch it off. Okay, read that, go and switch off whatever we're not doing. For example, we're doing a report compilation, report of the compiler for this, so I switched off everything that wasn't applicable. I can also go and switch off my checklist and even my status later because I'm not going to use it when I print. Go to my SOFP. We've gone in, we've opened up all my notes, and I can jump to the note or jump to the lead if I want to see what the amount is made up of. And I see there's a possible note mismatch. So this is down to my PP&E recon and my difference. Okay, and here is where I'll go and type in my difference, and I see there's 70,000 there, and there's 456, which will bring me to my total that I was out by. And now we've also taken this amount to my cash flow. Okay, and now my cash flow is going to be in balance. Why? Because there's my 526,740 that I've allocated in my recon, and then my cash flow is in balance. Okay. And we move through our notes, and we've gone and we've auto opened up all the notes that are applicable. If something's not applicable, close it. If something part of a note is applicable, maybe there was revaluation, open it. But we would have done all of the major opens for you, like on my trade and other receivables. Maybe there are movements in impairment. Okay, and I can go and I can use the blue blocks to type in my movement. So the blue blocks, just like my additions and my disposals over here that I typed in, okay, well, just additions, are cells that indicate going, hey, we can't or we shouldn't be calculating this for you. Please put the information in. Okay, and a good example is if we come down to cash and cash equivalent securities provided. Now that's an off TB item. The TB wouldn't tell me if there's securities provided. This is where I need to use my understanding of my client, go, oh, there are securities provided on this bank account, go and pop in the details. Okay. Next one is also a prime example, authorized and issued share capital. I need to go to my founding docs, and maybe there was 1,000 ordinary shares of Grand One each issued. And then, of course, I'll go and I'll pop in the value there. Okay, nothing for prior. Let's say this is first year of trade. Same with issued. Just adjust and move through. Okay. When you're happy with everything and you're going fantastic, everything looks good, you can then hit the print preview, and this is going to put everything together in my print preview, and we're going to see the final sets of results. Okay, so this goes and it puts everything. There we go. There's my final financial statements put into PDF, justified text, page numbered. Oh, just so pretty. Okay, so quick and easy. This is where you should be at the 5 minutes mark. Okay, even if it's a lot of information to put in as a big client, maybe at the 10-15 mark if you're doing a lot of recons. But yeah, super quick. We take all of the heavy lifting out for you by auto opening up everything and calculating everything for you. This is where you can then go and either put on a draft watermark or upload your letterhead, and you can apply your letterhead and even an image. Let me put on my compilation report. Okay, letterhead that I've uploaded, and we'll now see my financials with my letterhead. Okay, report of a compiler, Draftworx. There's my letterhead, lovely. Download, or sign, send off to my client. Happy days. And so much more. Okay, even down to replacing, if we're doing an audit with the actual auditor's report that the auditor sends me, you can do in financial statements, swap outs, director's report with a massive director's report that that the company has done. Anything is possible with Draftworx Cloud. And don't forget the help. If any point in time you need help, please review to our YouTube channel for more videos and much more detail. But you can click the help button here, go to log a support request, let us know what you're struggling with, or download TeamViewer, which is going to enable you to chat to us directly. Okay, so download it, save it on your desktop, rename it Draftworx Remote Support, because anytime you need help, okay, during office hours 8 to 5, run it, invoke the chat box, chat directly to us. We have a team of accountants and auditors sitting behind on support, and our consultants will be able to assist you with anything major, or at least steer you in the right direction. They go, yes, you do have a retained income issue. You need to go and do an opening balance test, okay? Or this is how you upload your letterhead. Okay, so wealth behind remote support of information and of assistance. Okay, so please just reach out. The Draftworx team is here to help. I hope you enjoyed this quick overview. There's lots more to get into on our YouTube channel. There is a lengthy 2.5-hour session where we take you through a lot more in detail, but be aware that we will be launching some more videos, and quite a few little items that you're going to see will just be improved along the way, because we're always improving. So please let us know how we can improve it for you. At the end of the day, you are what drives Draftworx. Let us know how we can make it better, and just email us at info@draftworx.com, or whenever you log out, please just pop us some feedback and let us know what you needed help with. Okay, if something didn't work or you didn't like some feature, let us know. That's the only way that we can improve. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this quick session. We look forward to chatting to you in future. Take care. Bye.